Look beyond the mask. Ask yourself, who am I beyond this mask that I put on and I show to the world? These are the questions that you can ask yourself to really think and understand yourself more of who you are. Because you are more of what you present to the world. You are more than what people have told you that you are. Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Towards Light podcast. I am one and only host, Walker Williams, and this is a place where you can learn, you can grow your consciousness, and you can be your best self. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day and a wonderful week so far. I know I spoiled y'all with two guests, but hear me out. Hear me out. I had something I wanted to get off my chest, okay? So we needed some one-on-one time. Some one-on-one time, some intimate setting, if I can get what I had on my chest out. We gonna be back with the guests. Best believe very soon. Very soon we're gonna have some more wonderful, amazing guests on. But this week I had something to get off my chest. Now, this week I wanted to talk about the ego. Dum dum dum. I feel like the ego deserves some type of like mystical sound after that. I don't know. But yeah, the ego, I wanted to talk about and discuss the ego because the ego is ingrained in our human experience. It plays a major part in how we act in this experience and how we react to experiences that happen. And we also, this is the thing that we can hold on into this experience, and it can cause negative experiences. It can cause positive experiences. But I wanted to discuss this because I feel like now we're at a place in society and humanity to where we need to understand our ego. We need to understand what it is and how we can make it better. How can we see our ego from a better lens, if you get what I'm saying? Let's get into this podcast, man. This is episode 18. We almost to 20. I actually don't know what I'm gonna do when we get to episode 20. I need to do something celebratory. I don't know. We'll think about it. We got one more episode. I got time. Now, what is this ego? Our ego is a structure that helps us navigate reality. This is a thing that the purpose of the ego is to help us experience this physical reality. Now, that is the base purpose of an ego, right? Everybody is bound to have an ego once you come into this existence. Our ego helps us show up. It helps us create. It helps us protect ourselves, and it helps us move through the world. Our ego is the mask that we put on every morning when we wake up and present ourselves to the world. It's the mask that you put on when you walk out that door. The ego is like a lens that we put on to filter ourselves and how we want the world to see us. But it's not the full picture of us. And I think that's why it's important to understand the ego, because once you understand your ego, the importance of this conversation to know that you're not your ego. You're not this thing. It is a part of the human experience, but that's not all that is you, right? Now, there's a quote by one of my favorite philosophers, Rumi. He has said that the ego is the veil between the human and God. That's crazy, right? But it's so thought-provoking once you really sit and think about it. And that's why I want to go into this, the ego versus the higher mind, the higher self. It is important to understand the difference between the two, right? Am I reacting from ego, or am I reacting from my higher self, right? The awareness of this can change your life. It can genuinely change your life. Now, your higher mind, your higher self, is the thing that knows it's already full. It already knows that it's love. It's reacting in a world of connection and love, compassion, right? But your ego can be so blocked. You can be reacting from the world, from your ego so much that you can't hear your higher self. You can't react in the world from that point. Now, one thing that you can do, we talk about ego deaths a lot, and we will get into that and further in the podcast, but you cannot kill your ego, right? You cannot kill the ego. But the thing is, the higher mind, it's about blending, being able to blend the ego and to be aware of the ego and know the awareness of the higher self, higher mind, right? The higher mind is the thing that already know your true potential, your actual potential, actually, your actual potentiality, your connectivity to everything around you. The ego mostly reacts in a world of fear, separation, and pride, right? But the higher mind is looking at things from love, looking for things as connection, like I said. But you have to be able to understand these things. The ego is I'm gonna say like this: the ego will ask questions of like, how do I win? How do I gain from this, right? The higher self is asking, what do I learn? How do I learn from this? How do I grow from this? You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's literally two spectrums, two different sides of the spectrum here. You know what I'm saying? And your ego, I feel like the ego is a reason. It's the reason for a lot of the disconnecting human society today. The ego has got so poisoned in how, and I mean, it's been poisoned for a long time in culture, in what we doing in daily life, and how we treat others and how we treat people. There's a lot of people in the world that think they're better than other people and think they're higher than other people. I mean, racism is a big egotistical demise. It's a very egotistical poison that has literally affected millions of people in this world. Because these people are reacting in the sense of that since they're this race, they're this color, that they're better than the next man. They're better than the next culture. They're better than the next group of people because of their own race and how they feel. That is supreme egotistic. That is supreme big ego way of thinking when it comes to things, which in sense it has caused suffering for millions of other humans. We're just one race. We are the human race, right? Yes, we are diverse. We come in many different colors, many different ways of seeing things, but we all bleed the same. We all have the same organs. We all have the same type of functionalities with our body and all of these things. But the ego is the thing that make you feel like you better than the next person. So that person should suffer because they're not like you. That is very egotistical. And like I said, this is in a lot of workspaces and a lot of areas in life. There are people using their big egos, in the government, in politics, and all of these things fall from people having big egos and not understanding their true selves. This is about understanding your true self, people. What is behind that ego? The awareness to know that you're so much more than that ego, that identity, that label that you've created. See, there's a thing with the ego as well, because you go your whole life. And shout out to Ram Dass, because he has a wonderful documentary called, they made a documentary with Ram Dass. Ram Dass documentary is called Becoming Nobody, right? And he was like, you spend your whole life trying to become somebody, right? The labels, the identity that you call yourself, your name, your story, your upbringing, where you come from, your job, your success, your career, whatever. I know that job, career, same thing, but you get what I'm saying is these are the things that when you talk to somebody, this is what you're telling them. This is who I am. All right. And you can fall to your ego because of these labels and identities that are not you. Yes, they're your experiences, but you're more than just that. Right? And you have to understand that. And I think we have to understand that. We have to understand that as a humanity. Um, these things we are way more, and I think and even on my podcast when I was talking about my shroom experience, if you watch that podcast, you will understand that like that was a clear cut of like I said, what Rumi said. The Rumi quote is beautiful. It's just like the ego is the veil between humans and God. Literally, my psychedelic trip when I did shrooms, 3.5 grams, and I was saying that it was a conversation with my higher self. That literally what it was. And that's why a lot of times when people do psychedelics and they do these bigger trips and they do these big consumptions of psychedelics, right? They have an ego death, right? And then you have all of these realizations that you never had before because the blockage was the ego. The whole time, the blockage was your connection with your ego. But see, I'm going to tell you something about psychedelics. I'm going to tell you something about doing mushrooms or whatever you choose to do that is safe for you and in a safer environment. Yet again, I am not recommending anybody to do these things. But if you was to do it, that's why it would crumble your ego and literally humble you and being like, this is not you. It would crumble your ego of what you felt like you was or who you thought you were. Literally, my experience was like I was like laughing at the identity that I had of myself, like Walker, like your name, like this is like I felt everything that I was doing that was so humanly was so funny because it was just like, yeah, go ahead or you don't have to look for nothing, Walker. Like, and I was laughing at that because I knew that it was like my higher self was like, found it so funny that like this is the identity that I'm sticking to in this lifetime, my name and my labels that I have in my mind, and it's way more. I'm way more than that. You realize in these situations, you realize that you are connected to everything and you're connected to every living being, every living thing in this universe you are connected to. But your ego has to crumble before you be able to understand that. And I'm kind of right now in this episode, I'm giving y'all a little gist of like, I want to bring awareness and help you step outside of your ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm going to say this is a great segue. A lot of people have wounded egos or inflated egos, right? Or inflated egos. And I hope this bring awareness because a lot of times people might not have the awareness, and I say a wounded ego is somebody that can never say that they're wrong about something, right? They can never say they're not wrong about something. They believe that everything they're doing is the right thing. Everything that they say is the right thing. You can't say you're wrong, right? And I really hope this helped people because I feel like a lot of people might struggle with this. You feel like everything you say is right and you don't want to be wrong, or you can't take accountability of being wrong and saying that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a important factor of breaking down your ego, understanding your ego, taking defense to everything. If you get criticism, like if your friend come to you and have something to say and you get defensive and you can't sit there and listen to why they're saying this or to really do the inner work within yourself. I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? How can I improve for this if this person feel this way about me? But instead, the wounded ego would get mad and be like, start arguing, start pointing things about them. Da 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 da. You start reacting in this way when somebody points something out, but you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that like you have to be able to take accountability, look within yourself, do introspection, to be like, okay, what am I really doing wrong here? How effective is my words? Like, am I saying the right things? Or do that inner work. A lot of times it takes a lot of inner work to be able to get out of these wounded ego situations. But even pride is something that falls under ego. Pride derives from ego. And shout out to J. Cole. He got this song, Pride is the Devil. I think you got a hold on me. Pride is the devil. and it left too many RIPs. You know what I'm saying? Like, pride is that is one thing too that is caused a lot of harm to a lot of people, because your pride is, if somebody hurts your pride, you want to get back, you want to get vengeance, you want to return the favor, or your pride can hold you from not healing relationships, not help you heal friendships, or because your pride is too strong to come to them and be like, hey, what I did was wrong. I shouldn't have never did that. But instead, your pride is like, nah, fuck that. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing, cause they ain't gonna get that from me. Why should I say something? And y'all pride can be the main reason why y'all don't patch up the relationship, because y'all too big on your ego, and y'all feel like you too big to come to somebody and as a man or as a woman to be honest about the situation. Or pride is the reason why a lot of people get killed in this reality, because of pride. They feel like they have to do something back because of their pride, right? And that's not necessarily the thing to do. This is all about bringing awareness, people. I feel like my whole platform, everything I talk about, is about bringing awareness to your mind and what you choose to do with your life and your actions. Always comparing yourself to others is another sign of a wounded ego. See, your higher self knows that it's already complete. Your higher self knows that it's already full. It don't have to compete with nobody. All right? Your higher self knows that it don't have to compete with nobody. But your ego, you too caught into your idea. You too caught into your ego, and you looking at everybody else's life, and you feel like, well, their life is better than mine. I'm not doing something right. Why am I not at this place? Why am I not doing this? Why do they deserve this more than me? They don't deserve that more than me. I deserve to be at that place, not them. They don't deserve that spot. I do. Also, judgment. You can't forget judgment. Judgment is definitely another thing is a effect of, oh shit. It really is a bad effect of like a wounded ego, because you judging people for not being on the same wavelength as you. You judge people for not doing the things that you do, or they're at a different place, or they're not at a higher position as you. You judge them, be like, ha ha, look at them. Look at them. They ain't making no money. Ha ha ha, look at them. I'm better than them. I'm better than you. That's a wounded ego, because now you looking at yourself and you feel like you better than people. And that's why I say ego is a way of just suffering in general to society and our history of life. Being here on this planet is ego. And even, I want to say, spiritual people can experience a ego being spiritual people. Let me say this correctly. Spiritual people can have a big ego as well, right? And let me explain. Not even just spiritual people, religious people, whatever you're doing, whatever you believe in, you can create an ego from it. Because just say spiritual people, right? You might feel like you got to a place to where you got enough enlightenment. You feel like you've done a lot of inner work. So now you judging other people from not being at the place that you are. You looking at other people, you looking like you're higher than other people because you did all this work and you learned a lot about yourself and about the universe and about your place in life, right? So now you looking at the next person like, well, I'm better than them because they not doing no inner work. They not doing the work. Like, look at them. Like, they still going to clubs. Like, they still going out, or they still drinking. Ugh. Like you looking down at people because you did their work. Let me tell y'all, my spiritual people in this world, that is not the type of mentality to have. Enlightenment, whatever you feel like you've gained from your spiritual experience, is not supposed to end up with that type of mindset. It's supposed to give you a sense of wholeness. It's supposed to give you a sense of grace and compassion for other people that's on their own journeys. Everybody is walking their own unique journeys in life. And you have to get you have to get to that place of acceptance that everybody's not supposed to be on that journey. Everybody's not supposed to walk the same path as you. So you can't judge them for that. You have to let people learn their own experiences with, the routes that they want to take in life, and maybe one day, one lifetime they will. That's not up to you to judge. It's not up for you to criticize. It's not up to you to look downward on. It's not for you to look downward on. It's about enjoying where you are in your journey and connecting with people that's on your journey as well. Let other people do what they do, man. It's not about worrying about what other people do with their lives. And that's going to people that's in religion as well, Let people walk their path. Like I feel like religion is a little more harder on the ego tip, because I'm not even gonna say that, but like even for the religious people, they will condemn people who is not walking that religion, who's not walking within that religion. That you're not going to this, that. Like, let people walk their path, people. It is important. Hold up, water time. H2O time. Need that good old H2O. Damn. And another example I want to talk about, I definitely want to talk about this. This is something that has been on my mind for a while, but if you watch the Jamie Foxx special, right? There was a moment in that special to where it really made me think, and it captured my attention. And he was speaking about, it was that moment when he was like, why is this happening to me? I'm Jamie Foxx. He kept saying that. That was kind of like more. That was like the basis of his show. Was just like he kept saying that throughout the show. It's like, I'm Jamie Foxx. Why am I going through this? I'm Jamie Foxx, right? And I remember him saying that. It was instantly a note in my mind. I was like, "Ooh, that was really an ego. That was an ego trip for him. That was an ego humbling trip for him in that experiences. We love Jamie Foxx. Shout out to Jamie Foxx, man. We love you. Amazing talent. Can do 100 different things. Jamie Foxx is super talented, man. We love Jamie Foxx. But what he was saying was so important. I think he was just basically showing that he had to. This literally helped him and his ego. Like it really put him through the ringer to understand himself more. But like he kept saying, like, I'm Jamie Foxx. Why do I have to go through this? I don't have to go through this. I'm Jamie Foxx, right? And I feel like some celebrities could probably get to the point to where they feel like they invincible and nothing can happen to them because they're this big, renowned, loved celebrity, and that they talented and they did so much for the culture and people that nothing should happen to them. Like, they're not a regular human being. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And once something like that happened, it wakes them up from this big ego trip that they have, that people can have. You can be so much in ego, but something can really come in and shake up your world to wake you up, to make you love the things around you more, to make you move with love instead of ego. It's about moving with love, people. You cannot move through this world strictly and purely moving through your ego. It's not effective. And Jamie Foxx was just talking about just the deep wrenching experience that he went through with his health element, his health ailment that happened, and how it really humbled him. It really humbled his spirit, It really humbled his spirit because you can, like I said, this is an example of what we're talking about with ego. You can get lost in your ego, seriously, people, to where it gets too big, bigger than the world. To feel like the world is wrapping around you and everything revolves around you. No, the universe will show you quickly, buddy. Yeah, it will show you. And Jamie Foxx had to go through this real experiencing, and it seemed like it turned out to be beautiful, because if you see Jamie Foxx now, like he loves every experience. His life was almost taken away from him, and we all so happy that Jamie Foxx is healthy and he's back active in the world, and you can just tell the new sense of light that he got through the world through that experience, and how he's loving every moment and not taking nothing for granted, because we can't take things for granted and not understand how every moment and how everything in his life is so cherishable. Now let's talk about ways to build a better relationship with your ego. Like I said early in the podcast, you cannot kill your ego, people. You cannot kill it. It's a thing that you cannot get rid of. But what we can do is create a better relationship with your ego, right? So what can we do to do this? What things that, there's going to be certain returning practices that I will speak about constantly, because sometimes you might need to hear repeated things to open up ideas, to open up ways of like, okay, maybe I should try this. But mindfulness is number one. Journaling is number two. And I also like these things. I would recommend building more awareness, right? I think the thing with me too, look, y'all, I'm a real human, okay? I'm human. So I have ego moments, right? But see, the thing that helps me is that the awareness of that. The most important thing in life is creating a sense of awareness with the things that you do. And because this will help you, you're not reacting in a world in a sense of just like doing shit and thinking about it later. No, you having these thoughts and you're questioning these thoughts, right? This is awareness, because you're thinking, you're not just acting off of just pure impulse. You sitting back before you make a move and you asking yourself these questions. Is this my ego? And these are the conversations I have with myself in certain situations. So if I do react in a sense of from an ego point of view, I can sit back and be like, okay, that was my ego. Let me not do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me move differently. And even in experiences and how I move in different aspects of my life, I can know that this is coming from an ego place. Like a lot of the times, even with like rejection or whatever, like especially like rejection, your ego, this is a lot of times your ego can come out in a sense of rejection, because your ego would be like, why is this happening to me? Right? Your ego would try to convince you to override that rejection. It was like, I don't deserve that. Like, somebody like me don't need to be rejected, right? This is your ego talking to you. But the thing is, it is about the awareness of that. It's the awareness of your ego, the difference between your ego and your higher self. You have to be able to understand the difference between the two, but sitting with yourself more, y'all. I'm gonna say this. If I had to say this every episode, I would do it. But literally sit with yourself and your thoughts. Do not run from your thoughts, people. Do not run from these conversations with yourself, because I notice a lot of times people run from their problems. They run from the things and hoping that it mysteriously goes away. Like, no, you got to confront your issues. You have to confront your problems, and to be able to look at them face to face. This is how you create more awareness in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, people. Start listening to yourself more. Start asking yourself questions. Is this my ego, or is this my higher self talking? Be able to differentiate the two. That's the importance. And also, it comes from a place of honesty too. Like being honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Like this is my ego. Like the more that you be honest with yourself, the more that you create that awareness in yourself, you be able to spot your ego more, right? The more you spot your ego, the more you'll be able to make better decisions, better to be able to move with more intentions and love and compassion rather than fear, pride, envy, all of these things. Envy or just jealousy, or what's another one I want to say? Revenge. And also for my psychonauts, I feel like y'all know, like y'all For the people who do that, that's definitely will help you understand your ego better, for sure. For sure, in this world. Like, just like I said, your ego, make it your friend. Don't make it your enemy. Make it your friend. Because you're not your name. You're not your identity. You're not your job. You're not your career. You're not this, all of this fame or money. You're not that. You are the awareness behind these things. That's who you actually are. You are the love behind these things. You are the spirit behind these things that are aware of this, that are aware of this experience, that are aware of your story, that's aware of what you're going through in your life. That's what you actually are. You are the love behind the mask that's connected to every single thing in the universe. That's who you actually are. Love, creativity, connection, compassion, it's all traits of the soul. And that's who you are as well. One thing I would encourage y'all to do is look beyond the mask. Ask yourself, who am I beyond this mask that I put on and I show to the world? These are the questions that you can ask yourself to really think and understand yourself more of who you are. Because you are more of what you present to the world. You are more than what people have told you that you are. So I advise y'all to go deeper. And I feel like every episode is a path. I want to be able to help, not even with y'all, with myself too, because as I talk to y'all, it healed me more. As I talk to y'all, it's healing me as well. So I'm creating a bridge to understand ourselves better as a human and what we actually are in the basis, in the ground level of who you are as a human. Yes, your ego will always be there, but it's about making it your friend, not your enemy. Okay, your ego can have you in some fucked up situations, reacting from ego, right? So let's not act from ego. Let's act from a place of love. Let's act from a place of connection. Now, I hope y'all really enjoyed this episode. I hope this helped you dive deeper into the actuality of who you really are. That's really the importance of every episode that I create. That's the intention. That's the intention behind everything that I do, is to light the spark that's in me within you, to understand yourself more, to create a better life and a better world around us, for humanity. That's what the light is all about. That is what the light is all about. This is always coming from a place of ultimate unconditional love. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for the support so far. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, people. Make sure you follow me on Spotify, add me on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast platform you use. Make sure you leave reviews, people. Rate your boy. Rate your boy on these things. Leave good reviews. We got to get up out of here. We trying to get the message out more to the people around humanity and around the world. So I need your help. So make sure you're liking and you're commenting and you're subscribing. You hitting the bell notification for you can know when your boy about to post. Okay, you can't miss that. I feel like that was like super goofy, but you can't miss that for real. You can't miss these messages, and I hope y'all having a wonderful week so far. I hope y'all doing great. Make sure y'all lead life with more awareness and compassion and love, people. And we're all walking towards the eternal light, people. Make sure you understand your ego, people. Make sure you be able to dig deep and be more aware of yourself. Once you take that mask off, who are you behind that mask that you show to the world? Ask yourself questions this week. Go deeper. Write in your journal. Just ask yourself questions about yourself. Who am I? Right? Really dig deep. Do some meditation. Do some breath work. Calm yourself down. Then you'll be able to understand who you are more in this existence, people. And like I said, I love y'all. I know I love y'all. We like this. We like this. We locked in. So We super locked in for life. So see y'all next Wednesday. Hope y'all have an amazing week. And we'll be back. I'm out.